आपण या कार्यक्रमाची सुरुवात करणार आहोत. तर पाहुण्यांना आणि मान्यवरांना तसंच लोकांना मी विनंती करेन की सगळ्यांनी उभं राहायचंय. या कार्यक्रमाची सुरुवात आपण महाराष्ट्र राज्यगीताने करणार आहोत. तर सगळ्यांना विनंती आहे, सगळ्यांनी उभं राहायचं.
सह्याद्रीचा सिंह गर्जतो शिवशंभू राजा महाराष्ट्र माझा जय महाराष्ट्र माझा गर्जा महाराष्ट्र माझा काळ्या छातीवरी गोरली अभिमानाची लेणी दारिद्र्याच्या उन्हात शिजला निधळाच्या धामाने निधळा देश गौरवासाठी झिजला दिल्लीचेही रक्तराणी तो महाराष्ट्र माझा जय जय महाराष्ट्र माझा जय महाराष्ट्र माझा जय जय महाराष्ट्र माझा.
धन्यवाद. सगळ्यांनी स्वागत करण्याचं बसून घ्यायचं. स्टेज जवळची गर्दी थोडीशी कमी करायची. धन्यवाद. पुन्हा एकदा आलेल्या पाहुण्यांना आणि मान्यवरांना विनंती आहे की सगळ्यांनी स्थानबद्ध व्हायचं. आपण या कार्यक्रमाची सुरुवात करत आहोत. आलेल्या पाहुण्यांचं आणि तसंच मंचावर उपस्थित मान्यवरांचं पुन्हा एकदा मनपूर्वक स्वागत. आणि या कार्यक्रमाची सुरुवात करण्याआधी मी सर्वप्रथम अतिरिक्त आयुक्त पूर्व उपनगर सन्माननीय अश्विनी भिडे मॅडम यांना विनंती करेन की आपण मंचावर यायचंय. आणि सर्वप्रथम या ठिकाणी या राज्याचे लाडके उपमुख्यमंत्री सन्माननीय श्री देवेंद्र फडणवीस साहेब यांचा या ठिकाणी सन्मान सत्कार करायचा आहे. टाळ्यांनी जोरदार साथ द्यायचे सगळ्यांनी. यानंतर मी पुढील सत्कार सन्मानासाठी मी या मंचावर आमंत्रित करतो पी वेलरासू साहेब यांना, मुंबई महानगरपालिका अतिरिक्त आयुक्त प्रकल्प यांना मी विनंती करेन की आपण पुढे यायचंय आणि सन्माननीय मंगल प्रभात लोढा साहेब यांचा या ठिकाणी सत्कार सन्मान करायचा आहे. सन्माननीय मंगल प्रभात लोढा साहेब माननीय मंत्री कौशल्य विकास उद्योजकता व नाविन्यता विभाग तथा पालकमंत्री मुंबई उपनगर जिल्हा. यानंतर मी सन्माननीय डॉक्टर सुधाकर शिंदे सर यांना विनंती करेन की आपण पुढे यायचंय आणि या ठिकाणी सन्माननीय श्री राहुल नार्वेकर साहेब विधानसभा अध्यक्ष यांचा या ठिकाणी सन्मान सत्कार करायचा आहे. धन्यवाद. मान्यवरांना विनंती आहे की आपण सगळ्यांनी स्थानबद्ध व्हायचंय. पुढील कार्यक्रमासाठी मी विनंती करेन की नरिमन पॉइंट चर्चगेट सिटीजन असोसिएशनच्या तर्फे सन्माननीय अतुल कुमार सर यांना मी विनंती करतो की आपण मंचावर यायचंय आणि पुढील कार्यक्रमाची सुरुवात करायची.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I wish to warmly welcome our esteemed hosts and all our guests today gathered here this evening on a very special occasion. Our warmest welcome to Deputy Chief Minister Shri Devendra Fadnavis ji, Honorable Speaker of the Assembly Rahul Narvekar ji, Mangal Prabhat Lodha ji, Harshita Narvekar, who we like to call our very own, Makaran Narvekar, And from the BMC, I am particularly pleased to welcome Ashwini Bhideji, who has been singularly helpful and receptive to all our requests and has played a big role in making this garden become a reality. And also, I think we have Mr. Sudhakar Shinde. So thank you. And last but not the least, the most important lady of the evening, Mrs. Swaran Kohli, founder trustee of NPCCA, who has tirelessly worked for 32 years, and I think many of us have come and gone along on this journey, but Mrs. Kohli is here today to see a dream of hers come true, and I think that gives us particular joy. I also welcome all our esteemed neighborhood friends from the Federation of Churchgate Residents. From the Marine Drive Residents Association, the Oval Trust, the Oval Cooperage Residents Association, Federation of Residents Trust, Kala Ghoda Association and Cuff Parade Residents Association, with a special mention to our champion Anaita Pandol. I also want to acknowledge quickly our legal team, Amit Haryani, Mustafa Doctor, Gaurav, Urvaksh and Malcolm, who are here today. They believed in the cause, and as fine members of the Bombay Bar, they gave us their unstinted support. Let me quickly preface my introduction by stating that NPCCA and all the associations we've mentioned above firmly believe that recreational grounds and playgrounds are a necessity. They are a prerequisite for social, psychological, environmental and ecological reasons and must be zealously protected in a densely populated and vertical city such as Mumbai. Every square inch of open space is precious. With that stated intention, NPCCA led by Mrs. Kohli started a journey, or shall I say a quest, to reclaim this garden as far back as October 1992. So yes, that was 31 years ago. That journey has been one of tenacity, grit, patience and incredible perseverance. Led by her, we traversed the corridors of Mantralaya, BMC, PWB. Petitions and letters and appeals kept pouring in. Promises were made, but many were not kept. And over 30 years, we have dealt with every single elected representative, every chief minister, every MP, MLA, and corporator. So what changed, and how did this garden become a reality? In 2013, 21 years later, we were so frustrated, we finally filed a writ petition in the Mumbai High Court. And in 2016, the court issued an order that essentially requested that the garden be recreated as an RG for recreational purposes only. The citizens, it said, have a right to live in a pollution-free environment and a right to lead a meaningful life as per the Constitution. They need open spaces and recreational grounds. The order, a landmark judgment, requested the state government to implement the reservation of RG in true letter and spirit by removing all the existing structures that existed on this land. And for those of you who have lived here for many generations, have seen the extent of encroachment on this property. It is easy to think that we now had a victory and that our rights had been restored, but for those who have worked with the system, they know well that implementation itself can take one lifetime. Court orders can be appealed, files can move slowly or not move at all. The biggest challenge before us was that every structure and encroachment in the garden was a state government structure. The administration had to act against itself. That seemed to pose an insurmountable challenge till we met Shri Devendra ji at Mantralaya. In a meeting that I will remember for a long time, he listened attentively, grasped the facts immediately, and simply said, if it is illegal and the courts have ordered, then we have to respect that. He said all the structures must go. For an incumbent chief minister, it was a bold and forthright decision, and today we salute him publicly for that. Any good general is always supported by an able team. That brings me to the Narvekar family, and I use the word family very deliberately. Rahulji, Harshita and Makaran. Here I admire Devendraji's astuteness in his selection and his choices. Marine Drive, Churchgate, Back Bay, Cuff Parade, Kolaba, Fort have the most vocal, demanding, opinionated residents who seek nothing but perfection in everything. We are a difficult lot to deal with. In turn, Devendraji gave us a dynamic and responsive representative team. All three have endeared themselves to the residents in an unprecedented manner. This garden itself is a reality today and is a testimony to these three people. They have always been accessible to the point where every resident, and I mean everyone, has their mobile numbers on speed dial. कुछ भी हो, प्रॉब्लम हो, नो वरी, राहुल जी या हर्षिता या मकरन से बात करके सब ठीक हो जाएगा. And they work in an indefatigable energy to help us improve the quality of our lives. For us citizens and all the resident associations, it has been a truly refreshing and very empowering experience. I won't take more of your time. Very quickly, I'd like to make some acknowledgements. Ashwini Bhideji, who I've already acknowledged, Sudhakar Shindeji, the MCGM Garden Department. You know, we're very fond of complaining about what the BMC doesn't do. Friends, look around you. This is what the BMC can do and has done. Shashikant Bhemre, Anaga Kudalkar, Sachin Patil, Kshitija Yole, all stalwarts who work day and night to make this happen. The entire A-Ward team from MCGM also deserves a huge acknowledgement. And of course, Harshita Narvekar for the selfless service to serve her constituents and our neighborhood. One person who is mostly ignored in all these functions is the contractor. Everybody is very wary of taking his name or identifying who he is. But it gives me great pleasure to acknowledge SK Infra Projects. Anand Pal ji, aap hain idhar? Anand Pal. As much as we read every day about what contractors did and didn't do, I want to acknowledge Anand Pal ji for his fabulous work. Never once did he say, the word no does not exist in his vocabulary. Whatever we asked him, he said, ho jayega. Time pe ho jayega. There were questions of budget. He said, nahin, wo bhi main sambhal lunga, idhar se, udhar se. That's the kind of dynamic performance is possible. And I think that's important to acknowledge. I'll end with a very quick summary to say that this is really a collective victory for all of us. It was never adversarial. It was always collaborative. And the result is here for all of us to see. So I just want to say that a spirit of partnership can lead to positive outcomes. This garden is representative of that. I now request Mrs. Kohli to kindly facilitate Mr. Devendraji with a small memento. Mr. Ashok Rao, Chairman of the Federation of Churchgate Residents. Mr. Ashad Mehta, Sunena Sadrangani. Ashok, if you could facilitate Rahul Narvekar ji, please. Ashok is Chairman of the Federation of Churchgate Residents. I'd like to request Apurva Iyengar to facilitate Loda ji. Ashad Mehta, if you could kindly facilitate Mrs. Bhide. Thank you so much. Sorry, sir. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. And for Shinde ji. Thank you so much. I now request Harshita Narvekar to say a few words.
A very good evening to everyone. Honorable Deputy Chief Minister Shri Devendra Fadnavis ji, Honorable Speaker and our very own Kolaba Assembly MLA Shri Rahul Narvekar ji, Honorable Minister Mangal Prabhat Lodha ji, our Corporator Makarand Narvekar ji, respected AMC Ashwini Bhede ji, respected AMC Velarasu ji, and respected AMC Sudhakar Shinde ji, and our NPCCA President Swarna Kohli ji, NPCCA VP Atul Kumar ji, and respected BMC officials, our BJP active workers, our dear friends and residents of the area. We're gathered here today to inaugurate this beautiful garden. It's an iconic day as we are getting the city of Mumbai, as the gifting the city of Mumbai 2 gardens and open spaces that were never available to them. I'd like to give a little background to why this garden is so special. This is a perfect example of how citizen participation can drive the change and being persistent brings results. Nariman Point Church Citizens Association has played an enormous role in getting this garden free of building encroachment in a legal battle spanning over 30 years, as Atulji mentioned, which shows grit, commitment and persistence. A special mention to Swarna Kohli ji and the committee members who actively participated in the process, and we thank them for that. After assuming this role, I got involved in the handover of the garden from PWD to BMC for development and maintenance. And Honorable Speaker Rahul ji was greatly instrumental in this effort. This effort was expedited by AMC Mrs. Bhede, and she was so dynamic, and she really went out of her way and expedited the whole process, and we were granted requisite budget for the renovation as well. So I'd like to mention that, thank her for this as well. From then on, we've had continuous rounds to monitor the progress of this garden, along with Mr. Atul Kumar, active residents, NPCCA committee members, and wonderful garden officials, which Atulji mentioned. It was a full-on team from the A ward as well. It was a best example of a collaborative effort. And we have seen this project come to light through the collaborative effort of each one of the participants, stakeholder in this. This is a wonderful example of how citizens, public representatives and MCGM can come together to build community spaces. It gives me a sense of pride to be involved in this project. Under Devendra ji's and Rahul ji's guidance, we always keep residents' welfare in our minds and work collaboratively with residents to come up with such initiatives. We are proactively involved and looking to add value to residents and resolving their issues. Finally, I am reminded of a quote from Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji, which is apt to describe what we see here today. Our aim may be as high as the endless sky, but we should have a resolve in our minds to walk ahead, hand in hand, for victory will be ours. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Maharashtra.
थँक्यू सो मच हर्षिता मॅम. यानंतर जसं आपण म्हणतो की वक्तृत्व आणि कर्तृत्व याचा सुंदर असा संगम म्हणजेच नेतृत्व, आणि तुम्हा सर्वांचे लाडके नेते तथा या राज्याचे उपमुख्यमंत्री सन्माननीय श्री देवेंद्र फडणवीस साहेब यांना मी विनंती करेन की आपण पुढे यायचं, या ठिकाणी 2 शब्द आपण बोलावे अशी मी विनंती करतो. जोरदार टाळ्या झाल्या पाहिजेत.
मंचावर उपस्थित महाराष्ट्र विधानसभेचे स्पीकर श्री राहुल नार्वेकर जी, राज्याचे स्किल डेव्हलपमेंट विभागाचे मंत्री आणि मुंबई सबअर्बनचे पालकमंत्री श्री मंगल प्रभात लोढा जी, या ठिकाणी उपस्थित एमसी श्रीमती अश्विनी भिडे, श्री वेलारुसू, श्री सुधाकर शिंदे, ज्यांनी प्रयत्नपूर्वक या ठिकाणी हे उद्यान तयार केलं, त्या श्रीमती हर्षिता नार्वेकर जी, श्री मकरंद नार्वेकर, त्याचप्रमाणे या ठिकाणी उपस्थित श्रीमती कोहली, श्री राजपुरोहित, संगीता हसनाळे आणि सर्वच मान्यवर आणि विशेष रूपाने या ठिकाणी उपस्थित असलेले रेसिडेंट्स असोसिएशनचे सर्व पदाधिकारी आणि मेंबर्स भगिनी आणि बंधूंनो, खरोखर ही अत्यंत आनंदाची गोष्ट आहे की हे गार्डन एका मोठ्या संघर्षानंतर आज या ठिकाणी तयार झालंय आणि या संघर्षाकरता मी सर्वप्रथम रेसिडेंट्स असोसिएशनचे अतिशय मनापासून अभिनंदन करतो आणि त्यांचे आभार देखील मानतो. विशेषतः त्यांचे रिप्रेझेंटेटिव्ह म्हणून मिसेस कोहली या ठिकाणी बसले आहे आणि हे खरं आहे की एक मोठी लढाई आपल्या सर्वांना लढावी लागली. नॉर्मली आपल्या सगळ्यांना ही कल्पना आहे की आम्ही लोक देखील साधारणपणे ज्यांचा आवाज मोठा असतो त्यांच्याकडे जास्त लक्ष देतो, पण तुम्हाला हे माहिती होतं की तुमचा आवाज मोठा नाही आहे, पण तुमची ताकद मोठी आहे आणि म्हणूनच तुम्ही एक मोठी कायदेशीर लढाई त्या ठिकाणी लढलात. आणि अगदी या ठिकाणी जे सांगण्यात आलंय खरं आहे की इन दिस एंटायर जर्नी वी वर नॉट ॲडव्हर्सरीज. You had a point which was absolutely valid. Somehow it took a little more time to reach to our ear, and finally the High Court made it a point that it comes to us as a legal diktat. I think it would have been better that we would have realized before it came from High Court, but better late than never. So once it came from the High Court, we accepted it. But more than that, as rightly said here, that was not the real win. The real win is today when we are inaugurating this beautiful garden, and I must thank the Narvekars, because all the three of them have been very instrumental in creating green spaces in Mumbai. Last time I could inaugurate a pet garden which was one of its kind, and it was also because of them that we could see that garden, and today we are inaugurating 2 gardens. And I'm very happy that in this area where we can see very tall buildings, now it will no more be an area of just tall buildings, but we will have beautiful green spaces in this area as well. So congratulations to the Residents Association as well. खरं म्हणजे मी कालच जपानवरून आलो आणि त्या ठिकाणी जे त्यांचं फॉरेस्ट कव्हर आहे हे 67% आहे. वी आर स्ट्रगलिंग टू गेट 33% ऑफ फॉरेस्ट कव्हर इन महाराष्ट्र, अँड दे हॅव 67% ऑफ फॉरेस्ट कव्हर. त्यामुळे आपल्याला कुठपर्यंत पोचायचं आहे हे आपण लक्षात घ्यावं लागेल. पण मला अतिशय आनंद आहे की पुन्हा हे नवीन सरकार आल्यानंतर मुंबई महानगरपालिकेला मोठ्या प्रमाणात माननीय मुख्यमंत्र्यांनी आणि आम्ही सगळ्यांनी मुंबई ब्युटिफिकेशनचा एक प्रोजेक्ट दिला आहे. हे ब्युटिफिकेशन कॉन्क्रीटचं ब्युटिफिकेशन नाही आहे, अर्थात त्यात काही कॉन्क्रीटचा भाग नक्की येईल, पण त्याच्यासोबत मोठ्या प्रमाणात ग्रीन स्पेसेस तयार करणं, मुंबईमध्ये मियावाकी फॉरेस्ट तयार करणं आणि जवळपास मला असं वाटतं की या सगळ्या ग्रीन स्पेसेस खाली या प्रोजेक्टच्या अंतर्गत 20,000 स्क्वेअर मीटर अशा प्रकारचे वेगवेगळे गार्डन्स आणि मियावाकी फॉरेस्ट ही या प्रोजेक्टच्या अंतर्गत तयार होणार आहे. त्यामुळे मुंबईला एक प्रकारे जी ग्रीनरी आहे ती परत करण्याचं काम हे निश्चितपणे सरकारच्या माध्यमातून आणि बीएमसीच्या माध्यमातून होत आहे. आणि मला विश्वास आहे की आज ज्या प्रकारे आमचे मंगलजी या ठिकाणी मुंबई सबअर्बनचे पालकमंत्री म्हणून काम करतायत, राहुलजी अध्यक्ष म्हणून या ठिकाणी काम करतायत आणि आमचे सगळे पूर्व नगरसेवक या सगळ्यांच्या माध्यमातून अतिशय चांगल्या प्रकारचं हे कार्य आपल्याला पाहायला मिळत आहे. मी पुन्हा एकदा रेसिडेंट्स असोसिएशनला सांगू इच्छितो की जरी कधी कधी तुम्हाला कायदेशीर कारवाई करावी लागते, कधी कोर्टमध्ये जावं लागतं, तरी देखील आमचे हे मत आहे की तुम्ही हे सगळं करता ते आम्हाला जरा लाईनीवर आणण्याकरता किंवा आम्ही योग्य काम केलं पाहिजे याकरता तुम्ही करता. त्यामुळे तुम्ही आमचेच आहात. यू आर नॉट अगेन्स्ट गव्हर्नमेंट, यू आर नॉट अगेन्स्ट एनीबडी, यू आर फॉर द कम्युनिटी, यू डू इट फॉर द कम्युनिटी. आणि म्हणून अशाच प्रकारे तुम्ही हे काम चालू ठेवा, म्हणजे वारंवार कोर्टात जाऊ नका. विल ट्राय दॅट यू डोंट हॅव टू गो टू द कोर्ट. पण तरी देखील तुमचं हे जे चांगलं कार्य आणि आमच्याशी पाठपुरावा जो आहे, कारण आपल्याला मुंबई इज अ इंटरनॅशनल सिटी बट वी वॉन्ट टू मेक इट अ इंटरनॅशनल सस्टेनेबल सिटी. आणि ती सस्टेनेबल सिटी तयार करण्याकरता तुमच्यासारख्या ऍक्टिव्ह असोसिएशन्स या अत्यंत गरजेच्या आहेत. त्यांची मदत अत्यंत गरजेची आहे. ती मदत तुम्ही सातत्याने देत राहावी एवढीच तुम्हाला विनंती करतो. आणि पुन्हा एकदा तुमच्या सगळ्यांचे मनापासून आभार मानतो, अभिनंदन करतो. नार्वेकर फॅमिलीचं देखील अतिशय मनापासून आभार आणि अभिनंदन करतो आणि बीएमसीचं अभिनंदन करून माझे 2 शब्द संपवतो. धन्यवाद. जय हिंद, जय महाराष्ट्र.
धन्यवाद साहेब. To present the vote of thanks, may I request Mrs. Ila Das ma'am to please be present on the dais.
Good evening, everyone. A big thank you for joining us to inaugurate Nehru Garden, a journey that's taken 31 years in the making. Large, open, democratic spaces like this are truly gems in the city, and this recreational park will be eagerly appreciated and enjoyed by every citizen, from children and adults to even senior citizens. Restoring this garden has been no easy feat, and I speak on behalf of every citizen when I say we are all extremely grateful for years and years of time, energy, resources spent in planning and restoring this lush garden that you see around us today. We wish to express our heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed guests, Honorable Shri Devendra Fadnavis ji, Honorable Shri Rahul Narvekar ji, Honorable Shri Mangal Prabhat Lodha ji, Shri Sudhakar Shinde ji, Shri P. Velrasu ji, Mrs. Ashwini Bhide ji, Corporator Mrs. Harshita Narvekar ji, Corporator Mr. Markan Narvekar ji, Shri More ji, Mrs. Swaran Kohli ji, and of course Shri Atul Kumar ji and all our distinguished guests today. Your presence, time and support has truly been remarkable, and we're so grateful for it. Now we invite all of you to join us for tea and refreshments, where we can continue to celebrate this moment of unity and the beautiful Nehru Park that we have inaugurated today. But on your way to the refreshments, please keep an eye out for the thoughtfully put together tree inventory and it has a thoughtfully put together list of all the gorgeous trees that call this garden their home. The list includes their local and botanical names and the number of each one you can find here. So again, a big thank you to everyone. Have a wonderful evening.
आपल्या कॉन्ट्रॅक्टरला बोलवावं, त्यांना एक बुके देऊया.
मैं विनती करूंगा जो हमारे पाल सर थे, हमारे जो कॉन्ट्रैक्टर, वो आप मंच पे आए, उनका भी सम्मान सत्कार हम यहाँ पे करना चाहते. इतना खूबसूरती का काम इन्होंने किया है, जोरदार तालियां इनके लिए भी बजनी चाहिए. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Today's inauguration stand out for all of us as we recall the excitement of a new beginning. So once again, thanks to all of you who are present here. Let's enjoy the tea, coffee and refreshments. So please take a note.